Chris Lee and Blake Lovell of Southeastern 14, presented by Steaks, here to preview Georgia's game with Samford. The Bulldogs, of course, coming off a demolition, if that even does it justice, of Oregon last week. Samford coming off a win over Kennesaw State. The line on this one, if you can find it, I think around 52, and I think the over-under is 65, Blake. In other words, nobody's expecting this to be much of a game, and so I think we will focus on maybe some things to watch for Georgia. So you start us off. Give me some.
You put this on me
Thanks
to
a
start
lot.
this off. Oh, look at that. Putting this on the 52-point spread. You're putting
Yep.
this one on me to start things off.
I am.
Unbelievable. Well, here's what I know. You said the Bulldogs.
That's why I host. The host gets the privilege of doing this.
You said the Bulldogs came away
Oh,
with
yes.
but Samford also came up with not to the level of Georgia, but they pull an upset in week 1. They beat Kennesaw State, who was number 8. I think it was number 6, something like that, in FCS. So, hey, don't discount one half of the Bulldogs here, because they did pull, kind of I'm not going to call it a stunner, but a come from behind victory to beat a top 10 team in the FCS. So I think that's something to certainly look at. But that's probably as far as I can get you in terms of giving them a chance to actually win this game. I think the FPI has it that Georgia 99.9% chance to win this game. That, again, almost as high as it gets. But, Chris, you're telling me there's a chance, because there is a 0.1% chance there that we never discount. But in all seriousness, I think if you're Samford, I think coming off of a win there in week 1 against a quality team. I think this is kind of looking at Samford's roster here. I think you've got some experience there and, that kind of stuff. But, yeah, Georgia's a different animal, although it's not a different animal when you really think about it. They're both Bulldogs. So, yeah, but Georgia may be a different beast is the best way to put it here in this one.
Well, let's also credit Samford for this. Last season in the honey, please call our real estate agent phase of Dan Mullen's Florida career, Samford gave Florida all it wanted, but that was a very different team and a very different circumstance than what Samford is going to see in Athens.
Yeah, it had to be a little bit different, I think. Look, Georgia, just like we said, easily the most dominant performance of week 1 in college football. I think Georgia and Alabama were easily the most impressive teams to me. But to do what they did against a number 11 team heading into the season, even if you look back and Oregon was overrated as 11, that's still going to be an Oregon team that's going to win games. They're not going to be a team with a losing record or anything like that. So yeah, it was as good as it gets. What do we look for from Georgia in this game? I don't know. I mean, what I'm kind of looking around and who do they play after this? They got South Carolina. Maybe you look ahead a little
on
bit.
the
You're not
road.
as sharp. I think that's how I could envision this. If they come out not as sharp, and with Kirby Smart, he doesn't want them to give up any points. He doesn't want them to let the opponent score. So I think it's one of those things. Could we see a situation where maybe Samford comes out early, riding that high of what they did in week 1, maybe come out and challenge Georgia right off the bat? Then Kirby Smart gets their attention and they roll to a 50-something to 7 win here. That's probably what, if you're looking for a scenario, that's maybe one that could play out, because we've seen that before with Georgia in these blowout games. Kirby Smart, it's not even like not taking the foot off the gas. It's just he wants them, no matter who's in the game, first string, second string, third string. He does not want them to give up a point. He wants their offense to be crisp, and that's what, the best coaches do. So I think that's probably what you're looking at here from Georgia's standpoint.
Well, I think you would like to get Stetson Bennett out of the game by halftime. See what Carson Beck can do, which that's why our prop bet on Georgia this week is going to be Carson Beck 100 yards over or under passing. I mean, and he could play half a game, and but how much are they going to be throwing the ball? So, I mean, I think it's an interesting prop bet for that. I mean, this is where we are when it's a 52-point line.
Still going over.
Well, okay. Let's talk about bets on this one. 52 points is a lot to cover for anybody, anywhere, anytime. 65 to me seems like a lot of points. I mean, Georgia can score 65 on its own, but I think it's the take the foot off the gas plus the fact that they're not wanting to give up a point to anybody, anywhere, anytime. I mean, these games, who knows? But I think to me, the under is barking perhaps a little bit here.
That's what I would go with. I'd go with the under here. I think, like you said, the problem is I think Samford probably scores 7 at most. And look, I'm not knocking Sam. Look, it's just if you watch Georgia, we're not.
Georgia is in a different unit, and Georgia is on. Georgia and Alabama are like having a hold my beer thing of who can just issue the more soul crushing beatdown right now to every week. So,
like I said, Samford's gonna come out with confidence, I think. But again, there's just such a big difference when you look at just kind of the gap there. So I will take the under. I think that's the best bet. That point spread's it's so ridiculous that I just don't want any part of it. So I'll take the under 65 there because, like I said, I could see a situation where maybe Samford comes out early, Georgia's looking ahead. Although I don't really anticipate that with Georgia, but I mean you are coming off of such a dominant win, so who knows? But yeah, give me that under on this one. And I mean, these are just games where it's like, man, you really got to love betting to bet on these kind of games, in my opinion, because it's just who's going to win. It's just you don't have any idea exactly what that number is going to look like at the end. You know it's going to be a dominant win, but you just don't know how high that number is going to get. So,
and you're taking the over on 100 passing yards for Carson Beck.
Taking the over. I think he'll be in there, and I think there's a lot of people who are pleased with what they've seen with him. And I mean, look, right? That could be one play, 65 yards, and to the house.
That's true.
And then you get 40 yards on the next couple drives, and that's that. But I think they'll want to see some things out of him if he's putting that. I mean, I think it won't just be them handing off the ball. I think they'll want to see some things. So yeah,
that's true. Well, go to Stakes and place your bets on this one. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again very soon.